Okay, I have started the recording too, and okay. So in today's class, we are going to see some of the things like what are the tools that we are going to use in your real time. So when we have written our ABAP code. So what are the tools that we will be using? You might be knowing of this, but I'm just letting you know again. So what are the tools? So like you will be first seeing the SLIN, and then you will be working with the ATC, and then you will be working with your code inspector. So this SLIN is nothing but your extended syntax check. Syntax check. And ATC is to check the performance of the code. It will go ahead and check the performance of your code or anything that can be comes. Even the extended syntax checks also can be shown. So the performance and how you can able to how it will be used by, and also it will be used by both the developers and the quality experts. The quality experts, how you have written the code. Uh, and if you want to check the entire objects, so let's say for my custom package, I want to check for my entire objects, so whether it has to be moved or whether it has to be in all in a sync or not, like your program conversions, program naming standards, and second one is like unused variables, unused variables. So like that. So all these things you can able to do this. So when you want to run an ATC, we need a code inspector. So we will be creating a variant in the code inspector, and that variant we will be using in our ATC. So remember all the all the SLIN and ATC must be in green. So must be in green, then only we are allowed to move the transport, to move the transport. So now let's see about your SLIN. So let me log on to my SAP system. So now if I go to the transaction code SLIN, so SLIN is a transaction code. When you click on extended syntax check, so you can also go to SC38 and let me open my program. So whatever the program we have been used, and then just click on program and then click on check, and then you will be going with your extended program check or extended syntax check. The same thing. See here, whatever the T code, whatever the screen you are seeing is the same thing. So now here you need to check all these things. You will be going to seeing this under your syntax check. So when you click on activate all, when you click on run checks, it will be showing you, see here we have 20 errors and two. So whatever the errors it is going to show, so these everything has to be in your green color. So that means 000. So few of the things that SAP will be providing you the exception. For few of the things, SAP will be providing you the exception. We need to add this exception. We need to add these exceptions, like you will be seeing something called as double slash. So like this you will be seeing double slash, like this you will be having. So I'll be going and showing you over here. So if I go here, so see here no text. So see, I just written as welcome to SR trainings. So we don't have this no text. That means a text element has not been created for this. So like this you will be seeing so many things like this. So all these things you have to be removed. All these things you have to be removed. So everything, or if you don't want to create this exception, so double click on this. As you don't want to create this exception, double click on this and you will be writing this as double slash no text, no underscore your text. Now previously it is 20. Now let's see, it becomes as 19. So check, sorry. Okay, so now let me click on activate all objects and click on run checks. See, it has been reduced to 19 as you have used this this deactivating with a programmer. So with this annotations or with this code, we can able to reduce. But usually if you don't have any, if you can't able to do that, then only we would request to add this programmer ID, this programmer ID, or else usually we will go ahead and do. So what we will do, let me go ahead and create this and I will be going and creating a text element. So after this 001, I'll just click on this and I'll just click on yes and then yes, and I'll be showing this as activate. So now I'll go ahead and click on activate on my program. Now come back and then click on program check, extended program checks, and click on run checks. It will be reduced to 18 as we have created your text element. We didn't add any performer, we just added your text element. In the same way, if you go here, see here, there is a line contains a breakpoint. So you can, so you have written a breakpoint. So like this. So sometimes you might be using this, but you can't, I mean, you might not able to delete these things. So that's the main reason we will be using this. I would say this SLIN. So now, not only this, let's say, for example, I'm going to call a function module. So we have created a function module, right? What is the function module we have created? So this is the function module we have created. So for this, I have MTART. So now let me go here to /o SC38. Let me call this function module. Click on, I'll just say calling of my function module. Okay. So ZR AOH 7 AM calling function module. Calling function module. Let me click on create and then calling function module. I'll be taking this as executable program. Let's click on save and I'm going to save that in my local object. So I'm going to say this as no standard page heading and then let me call my function module. So start of selection and I'll be going to say pattern. This is my function module I just want to call. So now Matner, you can just say value hash double quotation open and then so this is, I think this is the range. Yeah, this is the range. So I'll be taking this as sign is equal to I and then option is equal to and then low is equal to 1 2 3 4 and that's it. So I'm just closing this one. And MTART. So now let me go ahead and take this. So I'll be going to declare a variable data gv underscore MTART type. I'm going to take this as a cat3. So I'm going to add the value as gv underscore MTART is equal to ROH. So now I'm just going to pass this value over here as gv underscore MTART. So that's it. Now do your pretty printer and let's get check this. So no value has been derived. That's okay. Got stuck. Okay. No value has been derived. That's okay. So what we have to do, we just need to provide this range table type. So now I'm going to create this range table type. So that's it. I'm just going to paste it over here. So that's it. Now click on check. Now see here, there is no error. Now activate this program, and when I click on execute, it will go for a runtime error type conflict. Now this type conflicts also you can able to see in your SE38. Now when I go ahead and click on this program check and extended program check, and then just click on activate all checks and click on run check. See here, call function slash module. See, the actual parameter is not compatible with your formal parameter. So you can say as compatible. So let's say if it is character, let's say if you think that it is compatible, you have to just provide it as / compatible. How can you able to remove this? Either you have to go ahead and convert your either you have to say this as your convert MTART, and you just need to provide this one, or else you need to go ahead and declare this as your MTART. Now let me click on activate, and now let me click on program check and your syntax check. So now if I go ahead and activate all checks and click on run checks, see here everything has been gone, but there is a warning message. So you have created a GV MTART, you have been not used. You have not used. You just provided that as your importing parameter, but you need that. So you have to say GVMTART as your / needed. / needed. Sorry, one more / That's it. Now activate. So all these things you have to be provided. So sometimes in some of the clients I have seen, why you are providing a justification, why we are using this programmer IDs, we have to provide a justification. Why we are using this programmer IDs, we need to provide a justification. We need to provide a justification. You will be having a form. So in that form, you have to mention this what programmer ID you are using, at what line number, and what is the program, and you will be having this. So like this, you will be having an Excel sheet. If I open this Excel, you'll be having an Excel sheet. So you'll be having here the program ID, the line number, and then what programmer ID you are using, and what is the reason to use that. What is the reason? So all of the things, almost like 90 to 95 things, we can able to remove with by seeing of our code. Let's say if you are using select star, we should not use our select star. We should not. We should not use our select star. So in ECC, if you are using a joins, it will also create an issue. So you have to always go ahead with your for all entries. Whereas in your S4, we should never ever use an for all entries. We will always use to go ahead with our joins. So like that. So these are some of the things we have to always keep in your mind. And the loop inside a loop. When I go ahead and say loop inside a loop, again it will create an issue. So if you create a loop at internal table into data of GS underscore some work area. So this GS underscore work area, you have to say it as hash needed. So like this. So when you are using for all entries, and you will be saying something like when you are using a join, when you are creating a internal table, when you are creating a join with internal table and a database table, you will be seeing something called as EC for all entries. Like that, you will be seeing one hashtag. So like this, you have to keep your tags You have to keep your tags in your program. And some clients, I don't see majority of the clients, but some clients, they will be having an Excel to maintain this. Why? Because to avoid this runtime errors, to avoid, mainly we will be doing all these things because of to avoid your runtime errors. Maybe here it might be running, but we don't know in the quality and in the production. You can say that it's the same SAP system. Yes, but we don't know. We don't know. It can go for a toss. So to remove all those this runtime errors, so we will be using this. We will be using this extended syntax check. Okay, so this is all about your extended syntax check. So mainly, so you have to always remember, so when you're running the program, it's it's a developer responsibility. Maybe if you in your company, if it is not even using, it's your responsibility to go ahead and run the extended syntax check. Remember that. Not only this. So now when I use this unused variable, let's say I have used gv underscore variable type, I'll be saying this as cat20. I have not used this variable. Even you will be getting this. Sorry. I have not used this variable at any place. So now program check, extended program check, and then click on activate check and then run checks. See here field attributes, you have not used this. So GV has not addressed statistically in your program. You have not used, but you just created that variable, unnecessary variables also. So why? To reduce the memory allocation to your program. To reduce the memory allocation, as I told you, we should never ever create any unnecessary variables. That is also one of the that is also one of the thing when you're working as a developer, you have to consider. You have to consider this is all our duties. Okay. Now, so this is, so like this, you have to go ahead and check for all your extended program checks. Now, the next thing we are going to see is your is your ATC. So ATC, ABAP Text Cockpit. ABAP Text Cockpit. So as I told you, this is used mainly to check the quality of your program. Quality of the program. The quality of program. It is, so when you are running with an ABAP Text Cockpit, we will use a variant. We will be using a variants. So these variants we will be creating, we will be creating in your SCI, which is nothing but your code inspector. The T code is your SCI inspector. So code inspector. So when I open this code inspector, you will be mainly seeing three things, three areas. Even you can able to see this SCI in your ECC as well as in your S4, but compared to ECC, it has been more, I would say, mm, it has been more, it has been added more enhanced features. And previously, when you are working with ECC system previously, that means during 2013 and 14 times when I have started my, I mean, in between of my career, I would say. So we have used some of the third-party tools. So SCI is not that matured. So we have used some third-party tools to check the quality of our code, to check the quality of the code. So but later on SAP has realized and SAP has made so much modification to this SCI, so we don't need these third party tools, this third party tools third party tools. So we don't need this at all. So we just go ahead and use your SCI. So SAP is also suggesting this SCI. In this, we do have so many things. When I open this, so let me tell you what are the things that we can able to configure. So SCI. So in this, if you see here, you will be finding out something called as your exception. So your exception, your object, and your check variant. So this object is nothing but this object set is nothing but your global, and whereas this name and check variant is for your local. So okay, so this is your global and this is your local. As a global variant is accessed by all the users and local variants is accepted by your particular user only. The global object, this can be used by all users, but these two can be used only by your particular users. Now in SAP, when you are migrating from a ECC to S4, let's say, okay, so when we are migrating from ECC to S4, even this is also so every program we have to check. Every program we need to convert into S4 standards, the first thing. So now whether it has to be in S4 standards, so we will be having two standard variants. Two standard variants. One is your functional DB, and the second one is your technical DB. So this is also one of the interview question I faced it. Uh, I faced it like 3 to 4 times. So right now I am not sure people are asking this. So when we are in around like 2015 or 2016, when you want to shift your career from one company to another company, so people used to ask, so have you worked on this SSCI variant? So what is this? So now when we go ahead with your functional DB, so here I'll be just saying this as functional DB, and let me click on display. So this is your global. Okay, so see here, you will be having some of the tools like your checks. So check whatever it is a critical statement. If you click on this attributes, so it will check whether you are using directly a native SQL statements. When you are using directly a native SQL statements, or when you are using a DB hints, all these things will come up over here. All these things. Now, when you are using this ADBC interface, so via individual statements, ADBC classes, whatever the things you are using. So like that. In the case of robust program, if you see here, so search for DB operations in pooled and cluster tables. If you are using a DB operations and a pool on a cluster table, it will show you as an error. So now in the same way, search for the problematical statement of result, select a slash open cursor without order by. When you are using a select statement, and when you are not using an order by statement, it will throw you an error. It will throw you an error. So like this, you will be having different configurations that we will be doing. So finding an ABAP statement. So call function DB exist index. So message type as E. What is the message type you can just provide? So if you are seeing this function module, it will show you as an error. So you should never ever use this. So like this. So in the same way, you will also have your technical DB. In the same way, you will also have your technical DB. Technical DB, when you click on display, why it's not showing? So it has to show me technical DB too. So this is global. Let me go ahead and check with your local. Here you will be have. So performance DB and yeah, sorry, not technical DB, performance DB. So on the performance of your code, let me click on this display, whatever the program checks it is having, analyzing a where condition. Let me click on this attributes. See here, if you don't have your where condition, no index field in your where condition, no first index field in your where condition. So when you are using these without a where condition, it will throw you an error when you click on this. Let me show you that. So if I want, how can we run this? So I'll be just showing this as slash NSC38. I'll just go ahead and create no test 24. I'm just going to create this. Click on create. So test, I'll be saying this as executable program. Just click on save. I'll just go ahead and save this. So I'm just going to save this as start of selection. Start of selection. If I go ahead and say select start from Mara into table at the rate data of GT underscore Mara. So now when I just say this, so now do your pretty printer and let's get activate your code. We don't have any where condition. Now how can we run this? Now click on program, check ATC with. So what is your variant you want to check? So this is, and just click on your object checks. So here by default, it will go ahead and check with your standard. It will go ahead and check with your standard. So with the help of your standard, it will go ahead and check and it will be displaying the result. See here, larger table with no where condition, and see here you will be having your priority. So 1 to 5 you will be having. So sorry, here it is showing it as 1 to 4. So but I have, when I used it will have 1 to 5 priorities. So now, so the priority 1, 2, 3 at least we have to remove when you are writing it. 4, 5 we will be providing some exceptions, but 1, 2, 3 has to be removed for sure. One second. Okay, 1, 2, 3 programmatical statement. See here analyzing. So this is the first thing. So if you double click on this, it will be showing you here your what is your exception and what is this. So even you can able to compress with a pseudo statement or the programmer statement using EC CI nowhere condition. So maybe you might be using the select star for your condition or select fields without a where condition. So you have to use it. You have to. So that you can able to remove by using this pseudo comment. So just copy the pseudo comment and let me go ahead and write down over there. So then you can able to remove that one. But if you don't have anything, then only you have to write this, guys. I was saying you this. So now let me click on this object. It will directly go over there. I'll be just writing this one. You see? So now let me check this. Pseudo comment missing. So let me check this, and now let me activate my code, and now let me go ahead and check the extended text. See ATC. So directly I'm running the ATC right now. See, you have it has been removed as you have put your where condition. So that, sorry, as you have put your pseudo comment, so that has been removed. So in real time, when you're working in your real time, so we will create our own variant. We'll create our own variant. So this variant we will be creating on our own. we will not use any standard variants because we might be adding up our own things. We can go ahead and add our own things. Let me go ahead and show you that one. So now when I go here to my extended syntax check, so we will be creating and check variant as so whatever the string. So Z test AOH I'm going to take this as 7 a.m. So let me go ahead and click on create. So now this is when you are clicking on transportable or public. So now I just click on this public only. So now here, what are the list of checks that you need to be done? So we will be just creating now. So okay, let me go to the general checks. So CDH domain without a search condition, without a search condition. So consumption ranking and enterprise search, all these things will be seeing this. Don't worry about that. So these things we will be selecting, and then table names for select statements. Let's go ahead and here to click on this attribute summary view only. We don't need this like this. Like if you go to your programming naming conversions. So here you can provide your naming conversions like so define so types. So it is your global. When you want to create a global, it has to be starts with the GTY star. GTY star. Now in the same way for constants, I'll be going and say this as GT star. So whereas for your for your declarations, it has to be starts with okay, it should not start. It has to be starts with. Let me go here. Let me click on this one and exclude values. See, these are some of the values that you should not ever starts with. So single values, it has to be starts with. Has to be starts pattern. Where is this? Okay, single value. It has to be starts with G star. Okay, so G star. So like this. So I'll just go ahead and click on activate. In the same way for field symbols also, you will be having multiple things. So it has to be starts with I'll be saying this as GFS. So I'm going to take this as GFS underscore star. So like this, it has to be starts with GFS. So in the same way for your local, I'll be going to say LTY and LC ELC, and it has to be starts with L like this. So class interface, so types, constants, all whatever you have, you can just go ahead and create all those things. Now let me click on save. So like this, so this programming naming conventions has to be checked. Extended naming conventions for your program. So just go ahead and see if you have anything. So for your structure, so whatever the things you want to use. So like this, you can go ahead and create all your naming conventions and ABAP unit test naming conventions. So with empty test methods, if you have, go ahead and create in test methods and dialog statements. Let's say I'm just going to create these dialog statements and like this. So extended checks for your ABAP documents. So what are the extended checks? So like this classes, interfaces, types, I'm just going to create like this. You will be creating your own thing. You will be creating your own thing and you will be saving this. Now when you're creating an object or when you're working on an object, so you will be running with this. So here you will be coming to your name, you will be coming to your inspection and you'll be saying this as G test underscore V01. So you'll be just writing your program name and then V01 and just click on create. And what is your, so whether you want to create your program object set or that means a particular object you want to use or a complete request task you want to use, or one is single. So if I want to go ahead with a single object, I'll be just going and creating. So let me add my variant over here. First of all, this is my variant and let me go here and then I'll be taking this one. I'll be taking this program name. I'll be pasting it over here. Just click on execute. Okay, so it's a local variant, not a global. So now the inspection has been carried out. If you go here to click on the result, it will show you the result. So see here, there is one programming naming convention error. So the naming conventions, so that's a warning. You have to remove that. So GT underscore Mara invalid global. So we have used some different name, but here it has starts with GT. Okay. So that's a warning message. That's a warning message. It will be showing you like that. It will be showing it. You can go ahead and create this. It will be created. So if you are working with the big four MNCs like Accenture, PW, KPMG, and Deloitte. Sorry, not Accenture. ENY, PwC, KPMG, and Deloitte, and even Accenture or Cognizant or some of the big implementation, SAP implementation partners. So they will be using this SCI for sure. They will use this SCI. And even when you are joining into an organization, so the first thing is you will be asking something called as your naming conventions. You'll be asking something called as your naming conventions document or program the program standard sorry, the naming convention document or naming standards. Naming standards. So these are two, either this document you will be asking this, or sometimes this document they will be added directly in your code inspector itself, because you will be having your code inspector. You will be having your code inspector where you can configure everything over there. Where you can configure everything over there. Okay, so this is the one. So here, what are the major checks we will be checking in your code inspector is, I didn't tell you, but okay. So let me go ahead. So the first thing is we will be checking on your general checks. The second one is you will be checking on your security checks and syntax checks slash generation, robust programming, programming conventions, and you will be using some S4 custom code checks. This one you will be using, and then you will be working with your search functions and user interface. So these are the things. If you have any gateway objects, you will be just selecting on your gateway objects, whatever the things. And if you have a proxies, so you will be selecting for your proxies, whatever the proxies check. Okay. So when you have a workflow, you will be selecting. But majorly, these we will be using this. We will be using this under the security checks, whether if you are going to use any critical statements like your database updates, as I told you. See here, rollback, native SQL, generate, insert or delete. So like this, if you are using, so these things you will be adding with. So if you are going to use any critical statements that you will be providing it over here. So if you are using, so now dynamic without insert update. So like this, so using, as I told you, so these are some of the checks that you will be using this. So don't worry, this will be created by your lead slash managers at the early stage of your project, but if you don't have it also, you have to ask your naming convention document, and you have to work on this. Okay, so now this is your SCI. So even we can schedule this ATC in your background job also. So in your background job also, you can able to schedule this with the help of your ATC. The T code is, let me go to /O ATC. ATC. So here you can go ahead and create a schedule run when it has to be scheduled. So just click on create, and you just need to provide a series name. We just need to provide a series name, and then and then just after entering into your series name, it will be going to your below screenshot. So let me go ahead and give this as Z tester AOH underscore 7 AM. Let me click on continue. So here you will be finding out. So whatever the things you want and which is your variant. So what is your variant? So I'll be just selecting our variant, what we have created. So this is my variant we have created. So on your package, whether you want to create on your package or whether you want to create on your transportation layer. So if you have your transportation layer, so let's say these are my two transportation layer, or if you have any custom package. So of only for your custom objects you want to check. So by your query on your custom objects, you can just go ahead and check that. So let's say for my transportation layer, or I'll be just go ahead and create for my standard, not for standard, I'll just go ahead and create for my custom. So for my custom transportation layer, and then just click on this schedule series. So now selection contains restricted, for example, like demo one. Let me go here to my package. Any custom packages are there? Let me just keep for that custom packages. What I will do, I'll just say Z star and I'll just click on F4. So now let me go here with the G test. And just click on your save. So here you will be having. Then you just need to select this and click on schedule. So when you want to run, so how many things, server name. So check central check, and you just need to provide these details. We just need to provide these details. So now just click on your schedule, activate. So now the check runs has been successfully scheduled. So now let me go back and then create a monitor and control logs. You just need to click on this, and so when it has to be started and when it has to be ended. So all these things you can able to provide that. All these things you can able to provide that, and then you can able to see all your logs, all your logs and entire code inspector you can able to see. Not only this, if you are going to connect, if you can go ahead and connect to any third party system, and you can also do this logs. I'll be going to provide this document with you guys. So you go ahead and refer to this document. I'll be adding that document over here in your drive. So which I'm going to share with you. So you can do that one. Okay, so these are the things that you will be working mainly in your when you are when you are working with your S4. So in tomorrow's session, we will be going to see. I'll be just showing you like how an Eclipse will be Eclipse, and then how to download the Eclipse. Download Eclipse, and then what are the prerequisites for installing the ABAP tools? What are the prerequisites for installing ADT tools, ADT, ABAP development tools? So, and then how to install the ADT. So these things majorly it will be done by your security team. I mean ITMS. So you will be calling it as a software company. We will be having the security team, right? Who will be providing the laptops and who will be adding the softwares and all these things. They will be doing it. But you get if you get it. I mean, if you what I mean to say. Sorry. Yeah, in some of the clients you will be in some of the companies you will be having your installation access at that time if you want to install this. So what are the things that you have to check? So that I'm going to tell you how to install ADT tools and then how to add the system to the how to add the system to the Eclipse, and then we will be starting with our CDS views, or else I'll be showing you how to create a sample program in Eclipse. And how can we how to navigate. So some of the shortcuts, I would say, shortcuts which we will be using in your ADT. So I would suggest you guys to always work with your Eclipse. I would always suggest to work with your Eclipse, or I can say this as SAP HANA Studio. So see, SAP HANA Studio is also not owned by SAP. They have take the permanent license from Eclipse, and they have renamed that into SAP HANA Studio. Even the we can use the HANA Studio, or we can use your Eclipse. We can use your HANA Studio or we can use your Eclipse. Okay, so this is what we will be going to see in your tomorrow session. Mostly you might be having your Eclipse. I'm pretty much damn sure, but so from here onwards, I'll always completely working with my Eclipse only, even the programs, the classes creation, everything. I'll also show you how can we debug in Eclipse. So this is not there, but I'll be showing you as part of our course. This is not involved in our things, but I'll be showing you. So how you will be debugging in your Eclipse, that also will be showing you. So how can we? So in Eclipse, how can we change the code also? We can also change the code in debugger. In debugger. Trial and test based error codes. You can go ahead and check that. So if you think that this is working, just do a control plus S. It will automatically save at your backend editor. It will automatically save. So like in your SAP ABAP editor, so you have to come out and you have to modify it, you have to execute it, and you have to check it. You don't have an edit access in your ABAP debugger, whereas in your Eclipse debugger, you will be having an edit access. You'll be having a edit access so that you can able to see it. Okay, so these are the things that we will be going to see when you're working with your HANA Studio, and then we will be going to work with your CDS views. So the most important thing is your CDS views. So that's it. So that's the end of today's session. Before I signing off for today's session, any questions?
No, sir.
Okay. Yeah. So we'll meet you tomorrow at the same time and we'll be continuing with our session. Thank you. Thank you all.
Thank you.